We're like cavemen in a spaceship.
Yeah, I'm looking for something here on the Facebook that I saw that somebody posted here.
Oh boy, I know
Uh,
exactly what you're gonna read.
yeah, this is from Darlene Slusher. It says, yeah, he needs not to do this show. He's on a work call right now, and he needs to listen to the monitor for someone coughing herself awake because I have to get up butt crack early tomorrow.
There
I
you
think your wife
go.
is telling you that you ain't doing this show, motherfucker.
I've got the baby monitor right here,
All
so
right.
at
Yes,
any moment I
dear.
may be bailing on this thing.
Please don't wake
So,
up, honey. Please don't wake up. Don't yell. Don't wake up the wife. She'll kill you. I'm gonna close my
welcome to the
door.
show, Michael Butler.
Okay, I had to close my door.
This is a meeting of the two most unpopular men in their homes.
Yes.
It's historic for that reason. Fine
I
Tecate.
do not know why the lower third is not working. I apologize, but
We'll live without it. At this point, I'm just happy to talk to you. I'm
all
happy. I'm
right.
enjoying my RJ Rocker's first snow.
I'm enjoying my fine Tecate. Take a
The
sip of
first
this
one of the
fine
day,
Tecate.
always the best.
Ah!
Ah. Thank you so much for doing this, Michael. Man, 10 years. You and I are two. Are we the very two longest running podcasters? Hey, look at that. There's your lower
Lower
third.
third just came up. It's not backwards.
No, it just looks backward to you.
Oh, okay. And what did you ask me?
Are we the two longest running podcasters?
Well, Adam Curry is the longest, but
But he has a different show. He doesn't have the longest
yeah,
running show. He has a different show.
yeah, exactly. You and I are the longest. I thought you were pod fading, and I would have been the longest. So
We had that period where it took me a couple months between shows, and if I went about 6 weeks without doing a show, you took the record. It was like a horse race.
yeah. Oh well.
It is good to talk to you. Not only have we both been podcasting over 10 years, we've known each other in person longer than 10 years because we met at
That's
that
right.
BloggerCon in
BloggerCon.
2004.
That's changed everybody's life. It changed mine.
I get, you know what? Dawn and Drew were there.
That's right.
So, and were Dawn and Drew ahead of you, or you were before them?
They were. I was before them. They were like 2 weeks after. You were about 2 weeks before me, and they were about 2 weeks after me.
So
I
we
think.
may be we might be the three longest running podcasters in history. Three of us.
They're still doing the Dawn and Drew show.
Yeah. I
Oh
actually
yeah.
started subscribing. One of my dirty secrets for a long time is that although Drew was my friend, I'd never listened to their show. I didn't listen to their show for the first 9.5 years they did it. I
I
just
listened to
I
Dave.
just started subscribing recently.
How's the show? Is it good still?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what I just, how you taste come and go, and sometimes
Yeah.
some. It's weird to me, like stuff that I tried, didn't like, and then I go back and like it, and vice versa. But yeah, whatever.
I am addicted to the show that I cannot do without now. Besides yours is Phil Hendry show. Do you know who Phil Hendry is?
Is he the guy that does all the voices?
Yeah.
The guy with the guy who's all the callers on his own show?
Yes, he's great, man.
I've
That
heard of
show
him.
is
I've never heard
fucking
him.
genius. I listen to the pod. He does a daily podcast, but he also has a classic podcast, which is bits from when he was on talk radio. And what was so funny is when he would actual call. He would have guests on, but it was him. The guest was him doing another person, and it would always be like the most controversial guest, racist, homophobic guest, and
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Michael Butler, can you hear me? Michael Butler, can you hear me? Oh, dear God. We've lost Michael. Michael! Steven! Steven! I wonder, can he get back in? Do I have to re-invite him? Oh, dear. Oh, boy. Let's try this. live on the internet. Just me. I guess I'm not being very entertaining for. Tell you what. Let's start. Let's play a song while we wait for Michael.
Come over, I wanna adore you. We'll make everything my fault. And we'll watch all your shows, so tell me you won't go till the morning comes. Every little thing's gonna be alright. Every little thing, but not tonight. Uh-huh. I once met an escort outside a divorce court. A good idea, so it seemed. She once was a doctor in med school that mocked her. And baby, what can you do? Every little thing's gonna be alright. Every little thing, but not
Is he back? Michael Butler. Michael Butler. Michael Butler. Michael Butler.
Have you been this way before? Lying on the floor like a casualty. I went to a luncheon on sexual function. They said it was all about the taint.
It's all about the taint, says Dave Hill.
Cause I never been there. Well, how could I be so wrong? Every little thing's gonna be alright. Every little thing, but not tonight. Uh-huh.
It's all falling apart. And the funny thing is, we've gained listeners since Butler has dropped, or gained viewers since Butler has dropped. Michael Butler, are you back? Hello, Michael Butler. I see you. Michael Butler. Oh boy. Are you back?
Oh, fuck.
All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Michael Butler. Yes, sir. Are you there? Are you back? I occasionally hear a sigh. That's all I hear. I occasionally hear the word fuck and a sigh. Are you back, Mike?
The same old scenes, a boring drag, another weekend snore. Don't feel a thing, this stuff's no good. I guess I'll take 3 more. The girl against the wall looks good, but I don't know her.
Are you back, Mike? Okay. We're going gorilla.
I've got the digits now. I tell myself I'll make the call. It's such a bother though to make a fuss.
The music you're listening to is Valley Lodge.
I sleep a dreamless sleep tonight on someone's sofa. Beneath the threadbare quilt that was overlooked by someone's grandma for the bitter knowing cold. That girl has got me sold. That girl has got me sold.
Hello?
Are we back?
I can't hear you. Okay.
Okay. You got it?
All right. I'm on my phone, so the quality may suck.
Okay. At least you're here. It looks even more like a hostage video than the previous one.
Yeah, here you go. How's that? I only have 50% on my phone, too.
All right, I don't even remember what we're talking about. We'll start over. So, you were involved in what was my my favorite podcast when you and Jasper were doing Good Clean Fun.
Uh-huh.
Can you talk about why there's no Good Clean Fun? Is it all Jasper?
Yeah, Jasper just doesn't want to do it.
I started giving money solely to try to coax him out of retirement.
You want me to refund your money every
month?
month?
No, keep it. Keep it. I should just start I should just start giving him the money and like, all right, whenever, just put that in the babysitter fund. I mean, hell, the kid's going to daycare. He should be able to. He should do that.
I know. He doesn't. I don't know what his. I don't think he likes me anymore.
Nah, that can't be.
I don't know. No, I don't know. But he doesn't want to do it.
I would say of listening to podcasts, the number of times I've had like gut busting, like can't control myself laughter. Good Clean Fun is probably 50% of them. Some of those times, particularly like when one of the two of you would get mad at the other, that was like the biggest comedy ever. Maybe.
Well, it was always him getting mad at me. I was just trying to make it entertaining. He would always get pissed off.
You had one show I couldn't listen to. That was where you called up some girl. Was she like a psychic or somebody who had flyed something? You called her up and you were talking about her being overweight and her sex life, and at some point you got very shock jockey. And I was like, oh, I can't listen to this anymore.
I don't remember. You sure it wasn't the girl from Basket Case?
No, it was some girl around Austin. It was someone that lived in Austin.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
All right.
So, originally, part of the reason why we wanted to do this is a mutual listener of mine, listener of yours, my friend Robert Harvey. He wanted to see a video chat, and what he wanted, I think, was a lot of rock talk and a lot of like track by tracky music kind of stuff. And then I started looking into it, and I'm like, I realized that Google Hangouts on Air will shut your ass off if you play non-approved music. Like if you play some kind of, if I play Judas Priest or something like that, I think they like completely nuke your account instantly.
So what, do they have some kind of algorithm where they can tell?
Yes, they do. They have that Content ID thing can tell what song you're playing.
That is total bullshit, man.
Yeah.
That's a good reason not to use Google Hangout.
There you go. It is. So I don't have the comedy of Ustream playing the ads every 5 minutes that you guys had on Good Clean Fun.
Are those the only games in town now? Ustream and Google Hangouts?
I don't really know. Honestly, I don't know. So I was listening to, your best of the year that you did a couple weeks ago. Was it a month ago? How long ago did you do that? You did it after the new year, right?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
And the only I don't even submit a list because I literally bought one album the entire year, and that was the Steve Conti NYC album.
So you bought that from my show. I'm glad you did, because he think it made me feel good, because it made me feel like it had some kind of influence for people to buy shit. It made me feel good with him.
Well, I tweeted him and told him I bought the album from that track by track, and he retweeted it, so I know he saw it. So
yeah,
that Steve Conti album is, I think, fantastic.
I like it too.
So you've done the 2 track by tracks with him. You did him on that, and then also on, which was it, the first?
Oh, the Michael Monroe, the
New York Dolls album.
No, I did a track by track with the Michael Monroe.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you didn't do 3 with him? You didn't also do New York Dolls?
No, we did a long interview before the track by track.
Okay.
It was like a 2.5-hour show.
Yeah, I think of all the people you've talked to, that he might be my favorite person you've ever talked to.
Oh, that's good.
He seemed like just such nice a cool guy. And he's got that kind of. He's
a great guitar player.
Yeah, yeah. I think probably my second favorite track by track you ever did was the Burton of Air.
Oh, that was good. That was a long time ago. Classic albums revisited.
When every time after listening to him talk about the edit in the guitar solo in My Sharona, I listen for that thing every single time I ever hear the song. Yeah. I'm like trying to hear like the bad note at the end of that guitar solo.
Yeah, that's a great album. Have you heard that Empty Hearts album? I did.
Empty Hearts.
Track on that.
The Empty Hearts. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I bought it the other day, because of your best of the year. Because when I was listening to you do the best of the year, I was in the gym doing the elliptical, and I was at the hardest part of it when you played that Empty Hearts song, and I kept rewinding that song over and over again until I got through that part. I was like, holy shit, this is perfect for what I'm doing here. So I was like, oh my god, this is such a, what is it, Soul Deep? Was that the song that you played?
Yeah. I went to see them. I saw them at Yoshi's in San Francisco. But they changed the name. The place, they shut down now, too. There were like 35 people in the audience. It was fantastic, man. Clem Burke. Imagine seeing Clem Burke on drums and when there's like 35 people there.
Mm-hmm.
It was an empty room, man. It was fucking great.
So I was listening to it, and as I was listening to so I listened to the song over and over, and I was noticing that drum fill, like the way the drums get like crazier and crazier through the song. And so I had never played it all the way to the end of the song and into you talking. I was like, holy shit, the drums are nuts in this song. And then then I finally play it to the end, and you said the first thing you say is, listen to Clem Burke and go nuts on the drums in that song.
Yeah.
I saw, I don't know if it was before or after or while you were living at the Metroplex, but I saw the Romantics at the Metroplex, probably 88, 89, somewhere in there. So,
did I ever see I don't think I ever saw the Romantics play. I might have seen them a long time ago.
You were out of Atlanta by then, right?
Probably, yeah.
So there was a stretch in time where I saw, it was probably all the same year, where I saw a lot of, arena acts that were on the downslope, and I saw them at the Metroplex. So I saw the Romantics.
They were good too, weren't they?
Oh my God, they were good. Romantics were awesome. I saw Nazareth right around that same time. To a crowd of 100 people, 150 people.
I saw Nazareth in Atlanta at that theater where they had the wrestling matches. Where's that theater?
The Omni?
It's right near Margaritaville. There's like a theater right down the street from Margaritaville.
There was Center Stage.
Center Stage, that's where I saw them. Yeah, Nazareth was great. Yeah, I've seen Nazareth so many times.
Somewhere in there, I saw, it would have been before this. It was on the Doctor tour. I saw Cheap Trick touring on their very worst album of their history. At the fuck was it? It was up. It was that thing right where Roswell Road and Peachtree split. It's not the. It was a Cinnamon Draft House at the time. It's the. Oh, I can't even remember what it is now. Is it the Roxy? It's something.
I don't know.
But I think it was the cinema. I think it was still the Cinema and Draft House at that time, and it was. I've seen them. I don't know, 8 or 9 times. That was probably the very best time. It was on their very worst album. They played 2.5 hours. They were taking requests from the audience.
Nice.
Somebody requested. I can't remember if it was you Must Be Dreaming or Reach Out. It was one of those 2 songs from heavy metal. I think it was Reach Out, and they played that. And I remember Rick Nielsen saying, "We haven't played this song in years, but we wrote the fucking thing, so let's give it a try."
Yeah. One of the bands I play in, we opened with that song last week. Featherwitch. We opened with Reach Out. Cheap Trick and Joan Jett played here on Saturday, and I didn't know about it. They played a corporate party.
You don't have what's his face to why am I blanking on the guy's name? At Mevia that used to always get you into the industry stuff that does the podcast with Curry.
Dvorak.
Yeah.
He's no longer my friend.
So
I asked him last time I saw him. I said, "Can you get me to the Oracle party? Because Aerosmith played the Oracle party again this year." And he goes, "I can't do it." So I stopped asking him.
You're of no use to him, and.
But I probably could have got in the Cheap Trick. I didn't know about it until the next day. I didn't know until it was already over. So.
Well, I'll tell you, this is one. Around that time that I was in Atlanta, I drove an ice truck, and I learned the power.
What do you do when you drive an ice truck?
Mostly I didn't drive the truck. Mostly I answered phones, and I would drive trucks if there was absolutely nobody else you could put in the truck because I was the driver of last resort. But it was like either it was a refrigerated truck or else it was just an insulated truck, and you would have like a 40-pound bag of ice, and you would drive that thing and up to the restaurant, typically restaurants, and sometimes events or things like that, and you'd get a hand truck and just deliver it. So that was my last great blue-collar job was doing that stuff. But what I really learned was the power of walking through the loading dock like you belong there.
That's right. Act like you. Well, I went to my friend Alex Kane played with Marky Ramone's band, and he was playing at this event center, and there was like no parking anywhere, and I just drove on. I drove up to the stage parking area. I said, "I'm in the band. I'm late. I'm playing with Mark and Moon. I'm late." And he goes, "Go right through there." And my daughter and I just wheeled right in, parked him like right next to the door, and walked right in. That's all you got to do.
I'll tell you my story. Somewhere around in there, so somewhere in the mid-'80s, probably 88, 89. Somewhere in there, I had to go. The Barnum and Bailey Circus was at the Omni, and it was a Sunday, and it was their last day, and I had to go collect their money for the week. So they would just
collect whose money? The circus? You collect
circus's money, yeah. Money. So what never occurred to me, and at the time I didn't have a ride, so I took MARTA up there. So the plant is down in East Point, and so I take the MARTA train up there. I go up to the Omni. I meet the guys, I bring them the invoice, I do it. What I never thought about is that Barnum & Bailey is a cash business. They don't have a checking account, right? They go from town to town. So I present them with a bill for, I don't know, it was like $2,500, $3,000. So they give me $2,500.
Nice.
Now, I take this fucking roll of 20s, put it in my front pocket. Now I got to get back on the train and go back down to East Point and take this money back to the plant. So I have never been more. I've never sweated harder than being a 20-year-old kid on the MARTA train with a couple grand in my pocket that isn't my money.
Yep. So you've been a computer geek, like working in computers the whole time since you were out of college?
This is actually my second career. I was a chemist for 5 years. I was actually in school for chemistry when I was working at that ice plant.
What do you do what's a chemist do?
I worked at a Merck chemical. I worked at a chemical plant. Basically, you got all these tanks where you're doing a thing to it, and then you do another step, and you're processing it. And they would bring me a little jar of something, and I would run it and tell you how much of the stuff is in there. And there's some paperwork that tells you how much is supposed to be in there, and I tell you how much is in there, and either it's right or it's wrong. And if it's wrong, then everybody freaks out, and it's 3 in the morning, and you're desperately hoping. Every time you run it, you think, "Oh, I hope this motherfucker is right," because nothing good happens for me if it's wrong. So
I'm getting ready to plug my phone into the computer, so if we get disconnected, it's because because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my charge here. So
okay.
I'm going to plug it into the computer here.
All right. So one of the things that I wanted you to do on Rock and Roll Geek, and you either Rock and Roll Geek or Good Clean Fun, is I wanted to do a Valley Lodge track by track. You want to do one now?
If I can do it on the phone, if it's possible.
If you can hear the thing, we can do it. I got 3 Valley Lodge albums. I'll do any of them.
You sure you can hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right. The phone's like way far away from me.
Getting almost, if you went about 6 inches lower, it'd be a perfect buffalo shot.
Okay.
So I sent you the Valley Lodge albums. So overall, like kind of, you liked them okay, right? You
I like them, all right.
Didn't set your world on fire, but you thought it was pleasant enough, kind of pop rock.
Yeah, it seems a little collegey.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little what's that band that They Could Be Monsters? They Might Be Giants. They Might Be Giants. Yeah, They Might Be Giants. But
okay, well, let's do a speed round. Let's go through these. I'm going to sell you on this band, and I'm gonna set up. We'll do the Rock and Roll Geek scoring, which for all you do it, I think you have really, you've hit something. And nobody else rates albums like your scoring system. And I think, like when you're done with it, I almost never. It's very rare that you go that can't be right.
It works, right?
I think it works great. It's so freaking simple. A 0 if you don't like it, a 1 if you love it, and a half if you could go either way.
That's right. It's a perfect scoring system. It's so unscientific, but it works.
It's genius. All right, I'm going to go through here. I'm going to keep your score. I'm going to keep my score.
It's evil. It's all if it's evil genius.
It's evil genius.
If this thing works.
Some kind of evil genius. All right, tell you what. Let's do the newest one because I think you probably haven't heard this one.
Better turn it up.
All right, I got the wrong album. Let me get this. Okay, so this one
What's
I don't think you've heard. This is. So what?
What's this album called?
This album is called Use Your Weapons.
I think you sent it to me.
I did send it to you, and I think you even played one of these songs. You played one of these songs on the show. I forget which one you played. I think you maybe played the first song. Now I've never seen it because I don't have HBO, but I think this first song is the theme song for that John Oliver show on HBO.
I don't know what John Oliver is.
He used to be on the Daily
John
Show.
Oliver?
So what?
The
British guy.
Like that. Yeah.
He has a show on HBO, and I believe this is the theme song. So I hope Dave Hill is making some money off of this song. So, all right, this song is Go, first song on the album. Right, can you hear that?
Yeah, I like this song.
I like the song a lot too. Good album opener.
Little quirky.
I'm not that wild about the falsetto singing. I can see what you're saying. This is probably the most collegey song on this album. I do kind of see what you're saying about that. Get it to the chorus. I like this song. What do you think? I'm gonna give.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's a catchy song. It's a catchy song. It's a little too quirky for its own good. It's a little consciously trying to be quirky, I think. and I think he's trying to be a little campy. It's all right. I'll give it a +1.
I could have
I'm
swore
gonna
that
be
was a half.
generous and give it a +1.
I could have swore that was coming up to be
It was
a
gonna
half.
be a half, but it's a catchy tune, so I'll give it.
Yeah, it is a very catchy song. All right. Second song, Sweet Elizabeth. I like any song that has that drum beat. I automatically inclined to like it. Kind of like usually it's like a train song. The musician, what's that drum beat? That
Shuffle.
I have kind of a long interest. I like this song a lot too. It might be one of my favorites on the album. I have no idea what it's about. It kind of sounds like it's talking about like the song from Carrie. One of these songs that I listened to it, I was like, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about, but it seems kind of interesting.
It reminds me. Can you hear me? It reminds me of The Strokes.
Uh-oh. That's not going to be good. All right, so I'm going to give this one a +1. What do you think?
I'm going to give it a half.
Okay.
It reminds me too much of The Strokes. It's too collegey for me.
Okay. Let me see if I can get... I don't remember if this one has a guitar solo. I like Dave Hill's guitar playing a lot. Fine solo. Alright. Apology for Butler, I like it. This one, song number 3, Kiss Me I'm Drunk.
I've heard this too. Yeah, this is probably my favorite one.
It's not quite. This song. I don't think this song has a Tender Jam on it, or this album has a Tender Jam on it. This is probably the closest thing it has. I like this one. I believe I saw a video for this on YouTube that was kind of insane. All right. I'm giving this one a plus. I have no credibility because I've given everything a +1 so far.
It's a perfect album for you.
Well, this is one of those ones that I think this band really just kind of hits me. I might be the perfect audience for this band. I like the pre-chorus here. I still, as many times as I've listened to you deconstruct these songs, I can't tell the difference between a pre-chorus and a bridge.
This is the pre-chorus.
Might have been the chorus.
Well,
It's been the chorus. Okay. So what do you give this one?
I'll give it a +1. It's too collegey for me. That's the problem I have with this. It's too college rock.
Too college. Okay. That's fair enough. I guess I'm still collegey. That's my
But
problem.
for a college rocky album, the songs are catchy.
So am I too collegey for you?
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm not a big fan of the songs that you play on your show. I'm not a big fan of those. I like the Camper Van Beethoven, okay. But
That was one of the things where I think my tastes are. I think your tastes are, for the most part, kind of a subset. Because I like pretty much everything you play on your show, and you don't like. You like a minority of what I play. I think I like a lot.
I like a little harder,
Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of stuff. I know you. Well, you surprised me because you like the Avett Brothers, and I wasn't sure how you're gonna feel about them. But you like bluegrass.
I'm a huge fan of bluegrass music, actually. So.
And in fact, when I sent you that Avett Brothers, I thought you were gonna like the rockers, and then what you really liked were all the country bluegrassy songs.
Yeah, that music to me, that's good relaxation music.
All right.
Yes.
Song number 4, Pretty Thing. College Rocky. I kind of like that drum sound. I like this song a lot too.
Is he singing or is he doing just making noises?
I think there's just like a ah.
Girl who just destroyed my world.
I don't like his singing.
I can see. So I'm fine with his singing. I can kind of see where if you didn't like it, if you don't like it, then that's going to be a kind of a detriment to this band. But I like it a lot. So. I like this chorus a lot.
This is the chorus.
Yeah. All right. What do you give this one?
I'm giving this one a 0.
0. Oh my. All right. Mixing it up. 0 from Butler, 1 from me. So I haven't given any. I got to be one. I
hope you're writing this down.
So what?
I hope you're writing the scores.
I'm writing them down. So I've got it 4 for 4. You've got it 2.5 out of 4. So
I think I'm pretty right. So far, I'm right on.
Okay. Number 5. Make up your mind.
Make up your mind.
Surely you like this one. This has got that kind of classic rocky sound. This is not college rock.
Make up your mind. Just what I want. Yeah, we can stand here forever talking about the weather, make plans for whatever the cattle nowhere.
All right, what do you think about this one?
Let me get to the chorus.
Make up your mind. Make up, yeah, just telling me that it does look good. Make up your mind. Make up, yeah. If I could, I certainly would. This is love in the summer. Can I get a number? I'm in high and it's not too long. I'm coming up, I guess, so I climb right to my feet and run.
All right, what do you think?
I'll give that one a +1. I like that song.
I think I'm going to give this one a half.
The problem I have is with the guy who's got a good voice, but he doesn't sound genuine to me.
Okay.
Sounds like he's trying to be a different affectation every song, and he's not. Doesn't sound like he's being. Doesn't seem like he's being really real.
Okay.
Doesn't sound honest to me.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, so now
But
you're.
I like this song. I'll give it a +1.
Okay. I'm giving it a half just so that I don't give them all 1s.
All right.
Although I don't.
Rock credibility.
You're trying to keep a little credibility. I don't. It's one of those ones where I kind of have to do it because as much as I like it, it's not a 10 out of 10 album. But
right.
I got to pick one to not give a. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
This is fine. This is a fine song. I mean, I like it. All right, number 6, Waiting in the Rain.
Waiting in the Rain.
Waiting in the Rain. Is that rain?
Oh boy.
Waiting in the Rain.
That says.
The Phantom.
I like that.
Anything riff rock, like.
Hey, then maybe make some time for me.
I think this one's super
I
catchy.
wait all night for you to see. It's alright.
This is one of the songs I could imagine hearing this one in El Camino when I was 17.
Oh, girl.
I could see this one coming on between Foreigner and
Sun's gonna look you
Voice Control.
Wait right here all morning night.
Have we only ever heard the guitar? Finger snaps?
I buy lunch, delivering breakfast.
I got no.
Lose it again?
Oh, girl.
Oh, fuck. Alright, I'm losing my power here. Plug in here.
Alright.
Don't care if you can see me. I still wait here with this rain.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right, what do you think of this one?
Can you hear me? I would like the song, but it didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
There should be a huge chorus. It's got a good opening riff, but there's no punchline to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give it a half.
1/2 from Butler.
I'll give you a chorus. I didn't hear a big chorus.
You talked me into. I'm going to give it a half too.
There you go.
You sold me. You sold me down. All right, number 7. Gimme. And this is, I believe, you played this song on your show. When I because I had asked you what it sounded like, because it sounds to me, it's got that 70s rock sound. And your answer was ELO.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But there's absolutely, I hear ELO. So I absolutely see what you're talking about in that. You got that kind of Zeppelin-y.
No, this part right here is like Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay?
This. That right there is ELO.
Right. Yeah. This might be my favorite on the album. This one just makes me. This is absolutely. I'm a kid. It's summer. I'm sitting by the lake. You know, it's one of those songs to me.
The verse is Blue Oyster Cult. The chorus is ELO.
Okay. I'm giving this one a 1.
All right, I'll give it a +1 too. That's probably the best one on the album.
Now let me get to the solo in here, because the solo makes me think of something. I've never been able to pin down what it is. And it's the solo to me sounds like a solo that I can't remember. I honestly have.
I can't. When's the solo? I can't hear it.
Can't hear it. Hear it? Go back up. Hear it now?
That is. That is. You know what that is? That is Burning for You. What is it called? Burning for You.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. I'll trust you. All right. So you're saying
what I said?
it's a cross of Blue Oyster Cult and ELO.
And that solo is Burning for You solo.
I have to go back. I don't think I have that. I have to go back and get it. And I kind of like this little breakdown. I think this might be my favorite. I've changed my mind. This is my favorite song.
I like the song.
All right. Number 8, Restless Heart. The kind of shuffly. Almost kind of pretty swingy. In the days of wine and brewing, all the things that you were doing, do you have the same problem with his voice on this song?
Yeah, I don't like his voice.
I like his chorus a lot. He's got some kind of horn or something, or keyboard or something. Put your restless heart. All right.
I'll give it a half.
1/2. I'm gonna give it a 1 because I like this song.
There you go.
Number 9. Are you okay?
Bethawa. I don't like Bethawa. He's trying to sound like Steve right here.
Now that you heard it was the
Okay.
phone. Well, here one time I'll
Is this one too college for you?
What?
Is this one too college rocky for you?
Yeah, he's trying to sound like Steve Bader's on this song.
Go to the solo. I like that a lot.
Solo was good. Best part of it.
So a half for you. Did you say half?
Yeah, I'm giving that a half.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Something doesn't add up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1/2. I'm gonna give it a 1. Number 10, Blind, last song on the album. And I gotta say, it's an okay song, but this is, I think, not the best album closer of these 3 albums. It's an okay song. Giving this one a half.
Satisfaction guaranteed. Well, baby, you're blind. Baby, you're mine. Well, baby, you're blind. Baby, you're mine.
What do you think?
I'm giving that one a 0.
Okay. See what the solo's like. Your solo? Alright, 0 for Butler, a half for me. Alright, so adding up your score, I believe you have 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 6 out of 10 for Butler.
That's about right.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5. So 6 for you, 8.5 for me.
So you think it's a great album. I think it's a half decent album.
Okay, fair enough. Now let me go. This is, I think, the middle album. So album number 2, I think, has a much better album closer. So and
Hey,
then
so
also, oh, go
I
ahead.
got a question. So does Google Hangouts have a list of approved songs?
It does.
They
It has
have-
music you can play. So I can't.
What if they've never heard? Does it have music that you can't play?
I think if they know about it, this is I didn't even.
I mean,
don't
I
have the
bet
notes
you
about it.
I bet you American Heartbreak's not listed on the music that you can play.
Well, probably not. So if you never went in and explicitly said, gave them permission, because I think the deal is, so like when this goes up on YouTube, I think Valley Lodge will get some kind of cut of money from it. Like I
So,
think the ads will go on here, and I think Valley Lodge gets the money from the ads.
so if it's not on the list, but it's not on the list of songs you can't play, so they just automatically assume you can't play it unless it's explicitly on the list.
I think, like, if I played American Heartbreak and they don't know about it, I think nothing happens.
What do you mean if they don't know about it?
So if it's not one of the ones that's going to trigger their content ID, so you play some, Rihanna song, it's going to go, and it's going to.
Well, with the Wild Hearts probably wouldn't trigger it.
I don't know.
You think-
Well, tell you what, we'll.
I mean, do you think Alice
how about after we
Cooper
finish
and
this
old
up, let's play
Alice-
Push Your Luck?
You think old Alice Cooper song would trigger it?
I'm going to guess any kind of big. I'm going to guess any kind of big company music is going to trigger it.
That sucks. That's bullshit, man.
We can try it.
Google sucks. They're
Google
like
does kinda suck.
they've made themselves the policemen of the internet.
In this, it does. Yeah, I mean, so like I can't put ads.
Not
in
to
this video.
mention, you can't have a fucking external camera on your computer for the stupid Google Hangouts. I got to sit here and hold my fucking phone, man. I'm holding my phone and it's overheating in my hand, and my face is like way up to the screen. If you're watching this thing on YouTube, you're saying, "Why is that asshole's face up to the screen?" Because I'm doing this on my phone. It's the only thing that works on Google Hangout. My laptop is 20 years old, so it's got no connection. All I can use is my stupid iPhone, and it's burning my hand, and I got it plugged in because it drains the battery.
This is the magic. I was hoping for this.
I mean, it's really, man. You can't use an external camera with Google Hangouts. I have QuickTime going here with my old computer that I got from Mevio, by the way, lovely parting gift. It's QuickTime. I have this old camera. QuickTime works fine. Ustream, it works fine. Doesn't work with Google Hangouts. It's bullshit, man. Fuck you. All right, go ahead.
All right. So this one, I think
I was going to say Jasper.
Wait, you're so used to going out of the rant and saying
let's
back
play.
to you, Jasper.
So what? So now, if you play, will they just delete your account, or will they stifle it from that song?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out.
Right.
So, I think you've heard this one. So this is from the second album. I'm not going to do
pulling it up here.
So what?
Semester at Sea.
Semester at Sea. Yes.
Okay.
And actually, this is a harder rock album. You probably like this one better.
Probably don't, but go ahead.
Okay. So there's this. I like this one.
They do a.
I like this a lot.
You are here and warm, but I couldn't look away.
It's because it's a Bob Welch song.
Well, yeah, I like it. What I like about it is that it's not kind of slavish. I like that it's got a different kind of harder take on it. I don't like those, like I've got that Todd Rundgren album where he tries to sound like the other songs. What's it called? Faithful. And it's just pointless. Some of them you can't even tell they're a cover. I mean, so good job, Todd Rundgren. You did your job. It sounds exactly like that song, but
right. Okay.
Well, that's why I don't even know about that song.
That's why it's called Faithful. He's trying to be faithful to the original.
But so I like this cover a lot. But so here's the last song of this album. I think this is the perfect album close. It's like, this is maybe even my favorite song on this album.
You know it's wrong.
Now, if you got a problem with his voice, you're probably not going to like that too much. But
that is Dear Jesse's Girl.
In silence in the back of class, I hear it all.
Yeah, this is his version of Jesse's Girl.
I'm in the hall. It makes no difference to him. To me, it's everything. So you smile when I sent you the message. So
I like this.
I like this a lot too. So this to me, this is a good kind of tender jam album closer. This does that.
Your Man?
It's Your Man, yeah.
Losing your man.
I like his voice better on this album.
Okay. Do you want to hear a few more of this, or you had enough, Valley Lodge?
I like a closer with its all acoustic. That's how an album closer should be, is an acoustic song.
Okay. So here, let's just do a sampling. So what do you think about this one? So I think probably the first and last albums are less to your taste, and I would say this middle one is probably more to your taste.
Yeah, probably so. I'll have to go back and revisit this album.
So let's try another one.
All right. That's Slade right there.
Slade? I know he's a big Slade fan, so.
What's
The Door. You don't like his voice, so probably triggering the same thing you don't like about his voice.
Yeah.
All right.
What song is that called?
That's The Door. And let me.
I don't have that on this. That's not on this list of my album that I have. It's not on here. The Door.
Song number 2. Song number 2 on Semester at Sea.
I don't have number 2. I don't have song 2 on that. Okay. Huh. You didn't send me song 2.
Try number 5, Barricade. I remember this being the rocker.
Baby, I don't know. Moving to left, moving to right, pushing me till you move me out of sight. And I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna fight.
Think about this one.
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
It's all
So
right.
more my cup of
Lose Your
tea than
Man's the best one.
Yeah. Oop. Ah, oop, ah. Stop. Shit. All right.
All right.
All right.
You want to try? You want to push your luck?
Do we want to play?
Uh-oh. You in trouble? Is wife calling you? Can't hear you, Dave Slusher. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay, now I can. Now, oh, what?
How about now?
Check. Yes, now I can hear you.
I just realized I unplugged my headset.
Oh, there you go.
But that's not really going to work very well. Let me see what I have to push my luck with on this computer.
I don't want you to lose your account, but would it be that?
I don't have a lot of investment in it. Let me see what I
mean, will they delete your whole email address?
I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty shitty of them if they would do that. They wouldn't even give you a warning. I mean, because, I put up a Van Halen parking lot. Casey and I did this video a long time ago, Van Halen parking lot. We went to the Van Halen concert and interviewed people in the parking lot. And we had, I don't know, some Van Halen song in the back. They deleted it. They took it off of YouTube.
They had just that one video, or did they shut your account down?
No, just that one video.
Because it had Van Halen playing in the background.
Yes. And it was at a Van Halen concert. It was Van Halen Park. So we were interviewing people at the Van Halen concert.
I don't know what I have to.
They'll probably just delete this episode. Ah, screw it. I dare you.
What do I have to?
Play cheap tricks. Play just a little bit of.
See, I don't.
How long?
I have almost no music on here, so I don't. I don't have a lot. I'm going to be able to.
See, if this stupid laptop was working, I could just play my music and it would go through it. I don't know why this laptop doesn't work. My whole Chrome crashed with Google Hangout. So way to go, Google Hangout.
Butler, not a fan. We'll put it down.
Yeah. And can you see anybody in the chat room? How do you see the chat? How do you monitor the chat?
This is the third one of these I've done. I am hanging on by my fingernails. I barely have any idea what the fuck I'm doing on these things.
All right. So you just posted one. How many of these have you done on?
This is number 3 of these kind of hangout chat things.
You just posted one?
I just posted the audio of one. So the first 2 are both on YouTube. I just posted it to my regular podcast feed.
Oh, okay. And do these things get good numbers on YouTube?
No, they get terrible numbers.
Yeah, there you go. That's why I don't want to be on YouTube. I don't want to see the numbers, man.
It's like one of them, I think.
Hey, I thought that guy had a popular podcast. How come 5 people watched it?
Well, so one of them I think I watched 9 times, and one of them's been watched 30 times, something like that.
Yeah, you know what's so funny about Mevio? When I worked at Mevio, and when they went to Bite-Size TV, they would get like millions of views on Mevio, and they would post one of the videos that get posted on YouTube and get 15 views. It would get 3 million views on Mevio, but on YouTube it got 5.
That sounds maybe even suspicious.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so I don't have. What do I have? What can I push my luck with?
What do you have? So, what's on your computer? Just like a laptop with only certain songs on it?
Yeah, see, I don't have a giant. This is my work computer, so I don't have a whole lot of music on it. I've been so I'm about 20 years behind everybody else, but I've been kind of ripping all my CDs, and so I have one hard drive with everything on it. But I don't have too much already on here.
Yeah, I
have that Steve Connie album.
I just brought that won't get deleted. I just brought my turntable down here, and I can play vinyl now on my show, which I'm enjoying doing that.
Well, let's see. I wouldn't think, because that Steve Connie's not a major label. It's
no, that's not pushing it enough. You got to push it with something like Judas Priest or something like that.
That Judas Priest that you played when you did your bootleg, I like that. Judas Priest might be one of those bands I like the most that I don't own anything by them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're a fun band.
And I like that when you did your best of the year, that March of the Damned or whatever that song is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that song a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I just got the new Venom that I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to play, which I haven't listened to yet. But
I saw Venom, I'm pretty sure.
I just got Udo's new album too from Accept.
Every time he plays some Udo, Udo is like Udo seems.
I love
like,
that guy, man.
Is Udo serious, or is Udo having fun with us?
Well, I'm sure he's having fun, but he's also serious.
Are those
that
sincerely?
voice.
He's not trying to punk us.
I don't know. I don't care. He's great, man. His voice is so bad. You gotta love it because it's so original. It's so fucking bad.
Those are. It's definitely all. He's almost like the heavy metal William Hung.
He's more like the heavy metal guy who just doesn't. He's not off key. He doesn't sing off key. William Hung sings off key. He just got a voice that sounds like it's got a frog in his throat. He's the heavy metal Froggy from Little Rascals.
One thing I did do, because I just listened to I never listen to the radio. I've become that old guy that just is, when the kids talk about something, I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. I'm disconnected. So, but when you played that Weezer "Foolish Father," I went out and I bought that one song.
Yeah, that song is great, especially if you're a dad with a daughter.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my god. So, as I'm listening to that, was listening to your show, I'm going out and I'm buying that one. I'm like putting that in my car.
Buy the whole album. The whole album's pretty. There's maybe 2 clunkers on that album. That whole album's pretty good.
So, Valley Lodge is too college rocky for you, but Weezer isn't?
Weezer, the guy sounds sincere in his vocals. He sounds like, he doesn't sound like he's putting on an affectation with his voice. The guy in Valley Lodge sounds like he is.
Okay. When I felt a little bad, like the one time I met Aaron Mikowski in person. He was here in town, and
with Weezer or Metallica?
With Weezer. He got me tickets. I didn't go to the show.
Oh, bummer. He probably had you backstage and everything.
I was backstage. I went backstage with him. So I saw maybe.
You didn't go to the show.
I think I either had something else to do or.
But you went backstage with him. So you met up with him and then left.
I met up with him. We ate the crew dinner. I was gonna take him to dinner, but I guess it was like he would rather. He didn't want to get too far. He didn't want to get off the boat.
Right. You got to stay close by.
He's at work, and so.
Yeah, exactly.
So we went up, and I was like, just the free food for the crew, and he took me on the bus. So I'd never seen any of that kind of shit. I was like, just the crew bus. The crew bus was fucking plush, man.
Well, now
I never saw the band bus.
Now he's James Hetfield's tech. So imagine how he's doing now.
So I stood kind of at his little station during sound check, and I saw maybe 40 minutes of sound check. I saw a good bit of it. But I felt kind of like a dick for, he had a pair of tickets waiting for me. I was like, I got other things to do, brother. Sorry. But I sort of, I don't have an opposition to Weezer. I just, I don't love them. I like them. I don't love them.
Yeah, Martine and I stayed. It was great.
Yeah. It's funny. I've been thinking about bands so it was what year was it that the Police had their big reunion tour? It was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't keep up with the Police.
But I was thinking, like, I had so many friends that were insane. They were like driving 100 miles to go see this Police thing, and I was trying to think. I was trying to think what situation I would go to see the Police, and I was trying to think like, okay, free ticket that I had to drive to. Like if I had to drive 20 miles and I had a free ticket, I wouldn't go.
Yeah, you'd have to pay me to go see the Police.
If I was if I was in a hotel and I had a free ticket and they were already playing across the street from my hotel.
It depends on how late it was.
Maybe.
And what else was on television.
Exactly. I'm like, the Police, you can look
and
at...
if there was free drinks.
So you look at the Police, and like however much I like their first album, I like their second album exactly half of that. And I like their third album exactly half of that. So by the time you get down to Synchronicity, I like it about, a 1/32 of what I like their first album.
I could care less about the Police. No interest.
Which of these reunions? So Cheap Trick doesn't count as a reunion because they've never stopped.
No.
I mean, they've never gone more than 6 months without playing in their whole career. I don't think.
That's right.
Which of these things, which of these bands that you've never seen, do you want to see?
What, reunions?
Reunion or
I would like
anything?
I'd like to see Fleetwood Mac.
With so Christine McVie's not there. Do you still want to see her?
No, she's back.
But how much Fleetwood Mac does it have to be for you to be happy with it?
No, I would like to go see them now because it's all the
They're all back. I thought Christine McVie said she was never going to do it again. I guess she
did. They changed their mind.
Which means money. Which means
exactly.
lots of money.
Or she got divorced or something. Yeah.
I still stand by. I don't know why. I am completely obsessed with that song "Silver Springs."
I don't remember. I don't really know. I'm not an authority on Fleetwood Mac.
It's the song that got cut from Rumors.
Oh, okay.
So it was not on the album, and I had a long blog post. Like it's the song. It's my favorite song on Rumors.
I don't know.
Wasn't actually on the album.
I would like to see that reunion. Other than who else reunited? I don't know. But I'd like to see that.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be somebody that's active. Just like what's a band you never got a chance to see that you wanted to see?
Shit.
So you have all these crazy stories like seeing Leonard Skinner in a backyard.
Yeah. Not in a backyard, but at a party.
It was a keg party, right? When you were a little kid.
It was a big, huge keg party. Yeah, it was at the horse stables.
Okay.
I would like to see. I don't know, man. I've seen probably everybody. I saw Foghat recently. I had never seen them. I saw Foghat. That was good, even though it wasn't all original members.
Haven't half of those guys died?
Foghat? Yeah, that's true. I haven't saw Blue Oyster Cult, but I'm going to be seeing them soon. But I don't really care that much about Blue Oyster Cult now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of those bands...
Angel. I never saw Angel. I'd like to see Angel. Oh, well, Butler's played with a version of Angel, but not the original Angel with Punky Meadows.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that music, do you?
I don't know Angel at all.
Yeah.
That was kind of there was a stretch of, especially the early 70s, I'm going to have blind spots. Like, I never, goddamn, Coliseum Rock, what the fuck? I just went Stars.
Stars.
I never heard of Stars till you started playing them. Because there was a stretch where I was in the Midwest, kind of pre-MTV, pre-USA Network, that if it didn't get on kind of like big radio, I never heard it.
It wasn't really on the radio. It was on Don Kirshner's rock concert. That was about it. And I knew them from Circus Magazine and Cream Magazine. So
I remember. So like I would see the bands like maybe if they were on Saturday Night Live. You know, when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, Stars was never on Saturday Night Live,
So every so often I'd see some weird thing like I'd see like Captain Beefheart or something would be on some crazy show. I do remember seeing the Clash when they were on Tom Snyder's show.
But
yeah,
I never saw the Clash live. I would like to see them, I guess.
What do you think about that, like latter day Joe Strummer solo stuff?
I
See,
like that.
I like some of
That
that
was on
better than like
Epitaph.
like Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros. I like that better than like the last
Yeah.
couple Clash albums.
Oh, last couple of Clash albums were not good. They were kind of a parody of the Clash. I got that. They were on Epitaph, so I managed to get that stuff on the Pod Save Music Network when I worked at Pod Show.
Did you ever see that? You ever see that Joe Strummer documentary that the future is unwritten?
No, I saw the Clash movie a long time ago. That's when I wrote about that in my book that I'm trying to write.
That Joe Strummer documentary was kind of heartbreaking because it would have been maybe a year before he died, and I think maybe it was one of those ones where he had died by the time they finished the documentary, so he was alive when they started and dead when they finished. And there's like a scene of him, and he's in town playing, and he's trying to. It's like a Saturday, and he's trying to get into the classic rock to go talk to the dumb shit DJ that's on duty. And they can't get into the station, and nobody knows who they are. And it was almost kind of Spinal Tapping. I was like, oh, damn.
What's it called?
The Future is Unwritten.
Is it on the Netflix?
It might be on the Netflix. I don't know. I think I saw it on cable or a long time ago, IFC or something like that.
There's a Rick Springfield documentary that I recommend.
Okay.
Made by two female fans of his.
Of course, it was made by a female. Who else would make it?
It's I highly recommend
it. When you were did your live bootleg of that show?
The Unplugged, yeah.
It was one of those things where it was like 50% awesome, 50% painful.
Why?
Because every time he started talking, I was just like, "Oh, Jesus Christ! Will the story never end?"
Yeah, he did have long stories.
I hated those stories, and I loved all the songs.
He had some there were some long stories. And the chicks that were in the table, because at Yoshi's, you get seated with people you don't know. They cram everybody in the table. So these girls that were at the table with me, they were laughing at everything he said. They were telling him to take his top off, they were like, take your shirt off, and it's ridiculous.
So I'll tell you that when I saw you in San Francisco last year, so I kind of screwed the pooch because I probably should have come over to your house for dinner. You invited me. You were gracious enough to invite me, and I was just I was at a company event like all week, and I was just like burned out on talking to people I didn't know. So I was kind of antisocial. So, but then I made it worse by every bar I suggested sucked, and I wish we had never gone to any of them. And then what we should have done, and if I ever come back, we'll do it, is just go straight to the old man bars in North Beach.
Yeah,
Once we did that, it was so much fun.
Well, there's other old men bars we could have went to in other parts of town too that are fun.
I've hit that point where, and I should have known this, is that I only have a good time in shitty bars.
Yeah, that's
if it's not a
hipster bars. Hipster bars are no good. I like to go to the bars with just all old men, old alcoholic men.
It needs to stink.
Yeah.
You need to go in there at like 2 p.m, and there needs to be a full bar.
Yeah.
It's all the guys who they go and drink in the day because they can't drive at night.
Exactly. Yeah. We could have went to some good bars in the Tenderloin. We'd have had a good time.
Yeah, the one we went to. What's that oldest operating bar?
Yeah, that was in North Beach. I forget what it was called.
The one we went to that had the blues band with the Japanese dude.
Yeah, that was
singing.
good, man. I had a good time with that. The band was great too.
They were just shy of cheesy to the point where I had a great time.
Yeah, it was fun. And there wasn't that many people there. You could sit out at the bar. All right, I gotta piss, so I'm gonna walk into the bathroom with my phone. So I apologize. All right, hold on.
Tell you what, let me pick something. Let me see what I can get thrown off of.
All right.
Let me see what I can get thrown off of YouTube with. I'll play a song while you do this. We'll do an experiment. Let's try one of these Steve Conti songs.
Bath.
Rock and roll. Broken Spoke. So, all right, there you go. Broken Spoke Saloon. We're talking about shitty
But
bars.
they're not going to throw you off iTunes for playing it, or off of Google for playing that. They're not going to throw you off for playing that.
The seat beside me opened up. By closing time, we were friends. We shared 100 drunken nights. I love your laugh and your white eyes.
That's what we call
You kept me
leaking
coming back, but something strange. Couldn't make the
Butler, take the
rest.
win.
You went straight.
We need somebody to make a bumper for Butler.
I get my twist of fate. Now I wonder when you look at me.
See, something with the Steve Conti album. It seems to me, like, especially when I like listening to him talk, he's such a New Yorkie guy that it seems almost weird, like how kind of down home and like borderline country.
Yeah, it's more Americana. So.
What he reminds me of is when I lived in Lafayette, Louisiana. There were a lot of guys, so there were a lot of blues guys that lived down there, and then kind of a lot of Cajun rocker kind of guys. Sonny Landreth is local down there.
And Johnny Thunders lived down there too when he died.
Christ, I can't remember the name of the guy. C.C. Adcock.
I don't know who
That
is.
guy's like the Cajun Johnny Thunders. He even he looks kind of like him. He sounds kind of like him.
Uh-huh.
So I really got into. So do you like Zydeco music?
Yes, I do.
So there was like so much Cajun and Zydeco music down there that literally I'd be driving down the road sometimes and you'd see like a VFW hall and there'd be music coming out of there and I would just pull over into the parking lot and just like go in for 10 minutes. It was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. When I was with Stevie Slater, we played at a VFW hall in New Orleans.
Dude, I didn't even get to New Orleans that like in Mardi Gras. I never got to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. I had so much fun in Lafayette. There was never any point in leaving town.
Yeah.
So, I saw Everclear in the Howlin' Wolf. Maybe it was literally an airplane hangar. It was this giant fucking building, and that was one of the better shows I've ever seen. This would have been. I think it would have been like Sparkle and Fade. So I think it was before So Much for the Afterglow. So they didn't have there was no Father of Mine and stuff like that. It was all Santa Monica and Heart Spark, Dollar Sign, and those songs. That was a great show.
I'm sure. I did a live bootleg of Everclear about 5 or 6 years ago, I think.
I don't even remember you doing that one. I'm sure I listened to it. I don't remember that one. Everclear is another one of those ones where they had a stretch of albums that I really like, and then you get later in their career and it's like, oh my god, what the fuck am I listening to?
Oh, I haven't heard. Well, the last album I listened to, I thought I liked it pretty much. What was the last album they did?
The album that had like soccer Volvo
Soccer
Drive and
Mom.
Soccer Mom. Like I hated that album.
Oh, I got to listen to it again because I thought there were some good songs in that.
Yeah, it was like songs from American Movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was on maybe one of those ones. They did some kind of like Use Your Illusion thing where they had some sort of 2-part album.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
One of the hardest I've laughed, and you brought it back up. The hardest I've laughed at your show is when you did that Slash album track by track.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't trying to be funny, but
it made me laugh so hard because, like, 1 second before you would say it, I would have the same. I don't know how Slash doesn't have the reaction of listening to that and think, what is that guy doing to my song?
I know exactly, man. The guy Slash thinks that guy's great, and so does Eddie Trunk and all this. A lot of people think that guy's great. Where are they from?
I guess it's a matter of taste. I like the Valley Lodge better than you, but I cannot imagine what makes you like that singer.
I know, he sucks.
It just sucked the air out of the room every time I'd be listening. I'm like,
And
yeah,
the songs
all right.
weren't bad. The singer
It's like the worst part of it's like take the worst part of like Lane Staley and Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
That makes me think I should try to reach back out to that guy that's the singer for Alice in Chains now. William Duvall.
All right. That's right.
'Cause I interviewed him before that
Yeah.
a long time ago, like 7 or 8 years ago. Did
Probably
you
won't return your emails now.
Probably not. I may have I may have just got into the
Although they're not
window.
that big with him in there, that their albums aren't exactly tearing up the charts with him on vocals. So.
Yeah. Do you remember Neon Christ from Atlanta?
Uh-huh.
That's the same guy.
Oh, okay. I probably knew the guy then. We probably played gigs with him.
Yeah, so I think Neon Christ was just before my time. I saw him play in a band called Final Offering.
Neon Christ played at the old Metroplex, the one before the one on the railroad tracks.
See, and that was before my time. I got there in '85, and I don't think I ever went to the Plex until '86 or '87.
The original Metroplex was in a storefront.
Yeah, that one was ahead of my time. I think the original one is where a guy I know, so like they would be booking national touring bands. They would get their guarantee every night,
and nobody be there.
No one's there.
Yeah.
And so like, there's only really one way that money math works out, right?
Hey, he took care of Stevie Slaughter, so I have nothing bad to say about Paul.
Well, and so there was one night where a guy was, it was some kind of arty band, like maybe the Swans or somebody, some band like that was playing. And the dude is in there, and he's walking to the bathroom, and he sees two guys in the hall, and he sees fat stack of dollars go from one guy's hand, and big bag of powder goes to the other guy's hand.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck. It's like, I don't want to be here. This is not...
When we lived there, the guy made Ronald Reagan voodoo dolls and Jimmy Carter voodoo dolls, or somebody else. It was Ronald Reagan and somebody else, but he had to be made Democrat president.
Like Walter Mondale, probably.
Whatever, yeah. And so he sold them. So that's what all the punk rockers worked for him, making voodoo dolls. He would pay us like $5 an hour or something like that to make voodoo dolls. I'd like to have one of those voodoo dolls now.
They might be collector's items.
Yeah.
See, that was I was at that event. So the Democratic National Convention killed the Metroplex because he had some kind of like big event. He had some alternative thing, and right. So the convention was at the Omni. So like 3 blocks away is the convention, and he had this big thing every week. There was like big outdoor. I think they created the outdoor venue for this. They had big bands playing every night, and then no one went to this thing. Like literally, no one went to it. And he sued the city because there was a barricade, like just on the other side of the club. So cops had everything blocked off. But so he's suing and trying to get money out of the city. But that wasn't the problem, because if you went up to the barricade and said, "I'm going here," the cops just let you in. I went in most of those nights. I never had a problem getting in. Nobody wanted to go to this fucking thing. And so that like killed his club because he had a lot of guarantees to pay and no ticket sales. And so shortly after the club went under, and I believe, oddly enough, I believe it burned maybe a couple months after that, in it completely unrelated sort of situation.
I wonder what Paul's doing now. Was it Paul Cornwell or Paul?
Paul Cornwell. He at one point was involved with trying to create the Georgia Music Hall of Fame. He's somewhere in there. I mean, he's kind of laundered all that into a respectability in kind of the music scene.
He was always really nice to us and supportive, so I can't say anything but nice things about him.
I loved the Metroplex because you could get in there. I loved the way they had the bar off to the side, so you could get in there underage. Never a problem to go to any show. So I
thought they were all age shows there, right?
Yeah, every show was all age because the bar was its own separate thing with like a chicken wire. So from the bar you could look out onto the stage, but if you were
Yeah.
underage, you just couldn't go in the bar part. It was
That's
like
great.
the perfect club layout.
I don't know why
awesome.
I don't know why all the clubs don't do that.
They should. It was so good. And around that same time, were you there when the White Dot was open, or was that after your time?
Yeah,
Do
I
you remember
think
that?
so. Yeah, the name sounds familiar.
The White Dot was kind of like so the White Dot was down on Ponce de Leon, kind of close, right by the Krispy Kreme.
And is that
And
where the blue what was the band that was pre Fly Me Courageous? What was that band called?
Driving and Crime,
Driving and Crime. They were
the
called
Night Porters.
Night Porters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Night Porters would have been. I think probably they were. It was already. Driving and Crime was already, like, Jeff Nielsen was already in Driving and Crime by that point.
Did you
By
go
the time
Did you go to Margaritaville?
I did go to Margaritaville.
They always had Sunday punk rock shows and all you can drink margaritas.
I used to see the Isotopes there. You remember that band?
Yeah, but I don't really know of them. There was one band with this biker dude. I forget what they were called. Freddie Filth or Freddie Vomit. Freddie Vomit. Remember him?
I don't
think his
remember
name was
him.
Freddie Vomit. He looked like El Duce, but he was about 3'9".
There was there was a stretch where the Mentors lived in the Metroplex, I think.
Oh, I don't know. Not when I was there.
So the Mentors lived there, and for a while, I don't remember if it was all the Bad Brains or just HR, but
Yeah,
definitely there were Bad Brains living there at some point.
And we were the only band living there when I was there.
It's kind of like the place people went, I guess, when they ran out of money or when their van broke down.
He took everybody in. When we had our bus, we had our bus and it broke down like 100 miles outside of Atlanta on the way to the gig there, and they came and picked it. They rented a U-Haul and came and picked us up with all of our shit. Left our bus on the side of the road and they picked us up. They were really nice to us.
There was one night, so the night that I met the guys from Death Angel, it was kind of a similar sort of thing where I think maybe their axle broke or something happened to their van that they were touring in. And so they knew my buddy, my fraternity brother, like, interviewed them on WREK on the metal show. And so he knew them, and one of his buddies who hung on the show was a mechanic. So I think they made it to town, and then their van broke. So they ended up they did the show at the Metroplex. They spent the night in our frat house. Meanwhile, like, that guy was fixing their van like all day Saturday, and somewhere middle of the day Saturday he fixed it up. So they had kind of a sweet deal, breaking down right where they did. But like so it's a Friday night show. That Saturday I got up and I was studying for something, and I had like all my tapes there. And what's the lead singer's name?
Mark something.
Mark Osguedo, is that him?
Yeah.
So he was like the first one up, and he was wandering around, and he kind of wandered in, and we both had our Walkmans, and he asked if he could borrow some of my tapes. And guess what Mark Osguedo borrowed? Every tape he borrowed was the same guy.
Go ahead. I don't know.
Prince. He borrowed like 4 Prince tapes from me. That's all he listened to the whole time. I'm sitting there doing my homework or writing a paper or whatever the hell I was doing, and Mark Osguedo's sitting next to me with my borrowed Prince tapes. I remember being disappointed that they didn't play their Ultraviolent song, which I guess that was
I don't know any of their songs.
That was so. I guess it was one of those things where they weren't going to play an 8-minute, 10-minute instrumental in the middle of the show, but I think that was like the title track of their first album. Or
I don't know. I could not tell you any Death Angel songs. So.
There was a stretch. So there's a lot of this shit that I don't remember. There was a stretch where I saw a lot of metal shows. I remember seeing Voivod. I saw Venom. I saw Sacred Reich and Savage Grace. I don't know. They all kind of blended together after a while.
Yeah. I'm not an authority on metal, so.
Yeah, and I don't. A lot of that didn't stick. A lot of those. I didn't have the albums. I never listened to the albums. I would go to the show. I would just kind of go. It'd be fun enough, and then I'd leave. And so I had a lot of like punk and metal shows I went to like that. Like Jodie Foster Army. I saw them.
Right. Yeah.
Circle Jerks. I guess I had Circle Jerks albums, but there was that stretch where it was kind of that, I don't know, third wave of punk
I love the circle jerks and all that stuff. So, I saw all at the Metroplex. They were fucking great. Or not
You
all. The Descendants, I mean, not all.
didn't you say
Descendants.
you like to interview Keith Morris, but you think he'll be
Yeah,
hard to
I would
handle?
I would be afraid he would yell at me for being so stupid.
Probably so. That's when when I read that. You read that "Give Me Something Better" book, right?
No.
That's the oral history of San Francisco punk.
Oh, right. That's right. I got to get that. I keep meaning to pick that one up. That sounds like
I
a
like
good
that one a lot. What I really liked was so they've got, I don't know how many people they interviewed, 100 people for this thing, and what I really loved was like they edited together with kind of like opposing views. So a few of those people fucking hated Jello Biafra. I'm sure for reasons, right? I'm sure they had.
I would probably be one of those people too.
And I remember one of the quotes was they were talking about when he was running for mayor, and one of the quotes, whoever it was that said it was like, "I didn't vote for Jello Biafra for mayor, and I didn't vote for him for the fucking king of punk rock."
Yeah, exactly.
When I was writing my book,
I'm gonna have to look for that one.
I thought it was really good. So I was kind of using that for when I was writing that book set around there. I was using that for that was one of my primary research things. Like that's how I learned about the vats, the place where all the punks lived in the old brewery,
right.
and would just cut the walls out of the tanks and then make that their apartment. I was like, holy shit.
That was before I was out here, but yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's it. Knowing that you like those oral histories, I think you would really enjoy that one. Particularly, you probably know some of those people. You probably know someone in there.
My wife.
In fact, I think Ginger Coyote's in that book.
Yeah, my wife probably fucked several of the guys in that book.
Just give her a list. All right, check these names here.
Or should I say dated? No, fuck, but dated.
What part of town was the Mabui Gardens in?
That's North Beach.
That was North Beach. How close was it to where we were?
About 3 blocks.
Okay. And North Beach is not huge, right?
No, it's not that big.
Where was the Lusty Lady compared to where we were? Was that right down the street?
It was about 2 blocks. It was
okay.
Right down the street. Lusty Lady would be between Mabuhay Gardens and where we were. Lusty Lady was a great place. Too bad that place shut down.
I watched the documentary about it.
Yeah, all live nude girls.
Or whatever, the one where they were unionizing.
Yeah, that wasn't that great, but I liked it too.
No, I missed that one. So the glory days of that particular venue passed.
Yeah, that place only shut down like 2 years ago, if that were a year ago.
So was the North Beach like punk rock central?
That was before I got there. I moved here in '89, and there was the Stone, and there were like 3 clubs around there, but it was more metal and just rock. I wasn't around during the punk rock days. The Chatterbox is the only place.
Had the punks moved over to Oakland at that, like when you got there? Because wasn't
no, I don't know if the punks ever moved. I mean, just that the times had changed. In '89, it was becoming like the glam rock or whatever you call it.
That's the thing I got. So I was trying to get some of the kind of the authentic music to listen to while I was writing that book. So I was listening to the Nuns.
Yeah, my wife dated one of the guys in the Nuns, I think.
Wasn't Alejandro Escovedo, was it?
No, Brittany Black. Brittany Black, is that his name? I don't know.
Alejandro Escovedo. Now there's a guy, I like his stuff. That Steve Connie stuff could be like he and Steve Connie could play a bill, and that would make perfect sense. Because his like current stuff is a lot like that.
Yeah, I don't know all that stuff.
I'll tell you, of the bands that I listened to, the one that really knocked me out was Crime. You ever listen to that?
Yeah, my wife knew all those guys too. That was before I moved out here.
Crime to me, like of all the stuff I listened to, Crime to me sounds like you could just put that on and you would have no idea it was from 79 or 80 or whatever it's from. That one sounds kind of timeless to me.
Yeah, my wife knew those guys, and she was with one of the guys. This band SVT was the father of my stepson was an SVT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was all before I moved out here.
You told me, you said this one time in passing on your show, or maybe a couple times in passing, that Prairie Prince from the Tubes lives around you.
He lives like 3 blocks away from me.
You should get him. You should get him in the studio and do some track by track of a Tubes album.
I never see him. Because I was helping make this movie that never got released about rock and roll T-shirts, and we went to Journey's because he plays in Journey sometimes, and we interviewed the bass player and him, and yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but he said he told me where he lives, but I've never seen him in the neighborhood, so I guess he's always gone. There's a big metal statue in front of his place.
That's my request for a classic rock albums revisited is one of those Tubes albums, like whichever one has like White Punks on Joke.
I will go knock on his door. I'll knock on his door and see if he wants to come over and be in my studio. He was a nice guy. I talked to him for a long time when we interviewed him. He seemed like a nice guy.
So he's years ago, I'm gonna say probably early 2000s. Jefferson Starship, or I don't remember if they were billed as Jefferson Starship or Jefferson Airplane, played at Dragon Con Atlanta, and so that was when Prairie Prince was drumming with them. And for me, like, I don't like Jefferson Airplane and I don't like Starship, but there's a period of Jefferson Starship I really like, which was like when Marty Ballin was writing all the songs.
Yeah, I heard that on your show.
And it's like Grace Slick, any Grace Slick or Paul Kantner song I could give a fuck about. I don't care about any of that shit or any of their political anthems or any of that stuff. All I want to hear is a sappy Marty Ballin ballad.
Yeah. Well, that song that you played didn't sound really like that to me.
Oh, the Sing Out, the Cats Laughing song. You didn't.
Yeah.
It did to me. But so to me, it was like Marty Ballin, and it was Prairie Prince, and I think Prairie Prince's wife was like singing the Grace Slick part, and like to me, it's like the best possible lineup. It's like I'm fine that Paul Kantner and Grace Slick are not here. I think I prefer it this way.
Right. Yeah.
But so I saw the Tubes on Georgia Tech campus in '85 or '86, and we saw him that when they played at our campus. I think it was like a month after Fee Waybill had left the band.
Huh.
That's a bad time to see the Tubes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's back in the band. They played. Well, when Yoshi's was happening in San Francisco, they played there like every 3 months. I went to see them, and I did a live bootleg, but I never played it on the show because the show wasn't that good. It was kind of, it was all right, but it wasn't great.
There was a stretch of time, like when we first got cable in Kansas, there was a stretch in time where, like, that's where I learned about a lot of rock that I had never heard of. Because, for the longest time when I was a kid, we didn't get all 3 channels. We got 2 of the 3. I can't remember which one we didn't get. But then we got cable, and we had a USA Network, and we started getting Night Flight. And all of a sudden, my mind got blown overnight.
Well, that Completion Backwards Principle album with Talk to You Later, and I like that album.
Is that the one where they do the Captain Beefheart cover?
That's when they were all wearing suits.
That was so that my head is my only house unless it rains.
No, it had.
It might have been the one before that, the album before that.
This is when they were all clean cut, wearing like really nice suits on stage.
And Prairie Prince designed all those album covers, I think. Isn't he a graphic designer?
I think so. I think we talked about that. I had him when I was working on that show, that movie. I mean.
Yeah. So when Night Flight started coming, there was a stretch where I want to say on Saturday nights they would air uncut concerts. So I remember watching Cheap Trick. It'd be like a 90-minute, no commercial break concert. And I remember seeing one where he played like the 5-neck guitar, and I remember him playing Uncle Dick. I was like, oh my God, what is this?
I held Uncle Dick.
Yeah, I remember you. Didn't you do the video?
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Nice, man.
At least you didn't get thrown out of Jetboy for that one.
I know. It would have been worth it even then.
Rick Nielsen doesn't have the pull that Alice Cooper does.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what I got thrown out for sitting in
Alice Cooper's wheelchair.
Yeah, and holding the cold Ethel doll. That was well worth it, man. Well worth it.
If I could only ever contribute one thing to Rock and Roll Geek, I think getting that ID from James Randi was. he was like when I put the mic up in his face and he was just like turned it on.
You got an
But
ID for Rock and Roll Geek Show from James Randy?
yeah, I sent it
never,
to
I
you.
don't
Yeah, you
have,
played it.
I don't think I have. Shit, I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
look
you
for
played it.
it.
Oh, this was a long time ago. But
I'm
it was
going to use the
something to the
bathroom
effect of
again, by the way.
okay, leaking with Butler. It was something to the effect of I used to this is James Randy and I cut Alice Cooper's head off every night, and you're listening to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Something to that effect. And he was probably when I got that from him, he was probably in his 80s, and I didn't even. I just said it one time. I had nothing written down. I said it to him once. He said it back. Improv. He was a pro.
Oh, he emailed it to you.
No, I was standing right there with I had him right there.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out which.
All right.
I'm looking at this. Which is.
Yeah, I'm watching my. See, I'm watching my hands.
Which of these Steve Conti? There's one of these Steve Conti songs that sounded to me like a Cajun song.
Yeah, I forget which song. It's got the no, it's like the third song or something like that.
She flies. What would I do if it were me? This is my favorite song, Kevin.
Yeah.
This is what, like, when we were doing track by track, I was like, oh my god, this is CC Ad Dark sounds a lot like this. I don't know.
I'm out of the bathroom, by the way, now.
I know, I got kept.
Okay.
Dude, that's one of those things. So, minus your show, there's zero chance I'd have ever heard of the Steve Conti album, right? So,
Yeah.
I wonder how many copies you sold. One?
Well, no, he had a pledge, and he made way more than his pledge. No, so I don't
But I mean,
know.
I'm from being on your show.
Oh, he probably sold one copy. No, he probably sold 5. I don't know.
I mean, that's to me, that's like your track by tracks, particularly like when you have the people on. You've sold me a lot of those. You sold me the Dan Baird album.
Yeah, you know when I had Dan Baird and Warner Hodges on, they got bored. What did I say, Warner? Whatever. I'm getting buzzed. They were getting bored and they were like ready to get off the phone.
I know. There was a stretch where you were like asking. What was the question you were asking them? Like, if one song was about somebody, and you would not let this fucking question drop. I'm surprised they didn't hang up on you because I was waiting for the point where they hung up on you.
Yeah.
It's like I'm listening to it. It's like it was a true rock and roll geek triangular. I'm like, is this like a nervous tick? Why can this guy not take no for an answer on this question? Holy shit.
I wanted to know. Tell him like he wanted to talk about it to me.
All right, Michael Butler. What else? We've been on here an hour and a half. It's not it's not as madcap as Good Clean Fun.
Well, you want to play What Would You Do for Love?
Absolutely not. There's nothing I want to do less than that. How about you?
No, I'll do anything.
Oh, the last thing before we get off the thing. Did you read that? Did you look at your Wikipedia page?
Yeah, well, I haven't looked at it lately, but I've seen it.
Did you see the part about
They still say I make rock and roll buttons out of Epson photo quality inkjet paper.
I don't think so. But the part about Jerry's beer reviews.
Oh yeah, the retarded guy, a mentally challenged guy. Yeah.
So yeah, beer reviews of bad beers recorded by a mentally challenged redneck.
Yeah, that's great, man. You can't make that shit up. That's perfect. I mean, that's a great pitch for a show. That's why it was great, because it was organic. We didn't plan on having a mentally challenged. He's not even mentally challenged. It was just great.
What I really hope is that Jerry went on and wrote that.
Yeah, he didn't. I was hoping you were going to get Jasper on this thing.
You know what? If Jasper wants to do it, I would happily do another one.
No, well, ask him.
We'll figure out how we could possibly have worse video.
But you guys will end up talking about comic books, and I'll end up being a third wheel, and then I'll say something inappropriate and try to bring it back in.
See, I don't know how the same way you and I are on music. I think Jasper and I would be the same way on comics because I think we don't. I don't think we overlap a lot. I don't know if we have that much to talk about because he loves Batman. I don't read any Batman anything.
Yeah.
So we might just completely miss each other.
Oh, good.
Is there anything you're reading? Any comics that you've?
I'm still on the Chew and Walking Dead. I don't have time to sit down and read, man. I feel guilty because if I'm going to sit down and read a comic book, I should be writing a stupid book that I haven't been writing lately. So I feel guilty for wasting my time reading when I should be. So I haven't been reading.
Walking Dead.
Still on the Chew. Yeah, go ahead.
Walking Dead, kind of. So I don't watch the TV show. I watched the first season of the TV show, and I've never gone back. Like the comic, every so often I think, man, I might be getting bored enough to drop this. And every time I think that, like the next issue is like, holy fuck, what did I just see?
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's the same as a TV show. It's pretty true. But I'm not madly in love with the TV show either. It's all right.
There was a stretch there. Like in the War with Negan, where it was.
What's War with Negan? What's that?
Negan was that guy with the baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. That guy, like that big guy that was attacking the hill, and it would have been about a year or two ago.
Oh, see, I haven't read any Walking Deads. Like I'm like at the same level on the TV show as I am on the comic book, so I'm behind.
2 or 3 years behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a stretch where it's going to get really good, and then there's a time jump, and when you get to the time jump, it'll blow your mind.
All right, I'm gonna have to pay. So I look at it on the thing that Jasper told me about, the Comic Zeal app on the iPad. So I don't go out and buy the actual hard copies.
Mm-hmm.
I buy them illegally.
That's what. So I did that for like the first 75 issues. I got illegally, and then I started buying the comic after that.
Yeah, I'm at like 53, so I'm way behind.
53. So you're about 6 years behind.
Well, there you go.
They're in the 130s now, so.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, I got to catch up, I guess.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna read a comic book, I feel guilty. I can't even sit down and read a book. I have to listen to the audiobook because I feel like, while I'm sitting here reading, I really should be writing, and I just can't.
So I'm not a good role model on that because I was working on that book. I finished the book. I reread the book, took notes on it, and then that was like 2.5 years ago, and I've never touched the fucking thing since. So I'm not really much of an inspiration, but like when I was writing the first draft, I did the whole thing, never writing more than 1 hour at a time. I would go on my lunch hour every day from work. I'd write for an hour, and I'd be done. And so I wrote the whole thing in like 7 or 8 months that way. So I would say just give yourself some little chunk of time, consistently. Do it, almost every day, as many as you can. Just write half an hour a day.
I have not written since October.
See, like if you wrote 500 words a day, and you could write 500 words in half an hour. It's not that not that hard.
I know. I got to get back. I got to start doing it. I start thinking about it, and I think, oh fuck, I'm running out of stories, and I got to get back into it. I'm going to. I got to get this thing finished by summertime. I have to.
So just never think about it more than an hour at a time, right? Just say, I'm going to work on it for whatever works. Like just take your laptop with you. Like if you're going out, are you going out and doing painting jobs lately?
Yeah, I'm painting houses, so I can't write while I'm painting, but I can write in my head.
Just think about it. Shit, man, just take your like Adderall. Just dictate to yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's what I need to do.
Just hang it around your neck and mumble to yourself while you're painting, and then listen to it and write it back down.
I'm going to start writing again very, very soon. So I got to get this thing done. I need to get it done by mid-March at the latest.
So how much do you have written?
I'm about almost 40,000 words.
So shit, man, you're you're halfway to halfway or more to a decent sized book.
Yeah.
So if you wrote 2,000 words a week, right?
I would be done in no time.
You'd be done in
I
4 or
want
5
it to be a
months.
good book. I want it to be a good book, though. So.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You got to get the thing down before you can improve it, right? You
Yeah.
can't improve nothing.
Yeah, I know.
So sitting down and writing something shitty is going to be way better than not writing something wonderful.
Yes, you're right. I'm gonna get back on it.
All right, I'm going to be your buddy system on this.
All right, you and Matt Severson can both bust my ass.
I'll just send you a text. It's like
All right.
about every 3 days you get a text. Hey.
Yeah, he stopped texting me because I kept saying I haven't written. And he got tired of bugging me about it.
All right. Well, sir, thank you for braving Google Hangouts. I know you didn't like it. I know it's not your favorite.
Well, it's not easy for me to do on the phone. I like to talk into the microphone and not sitting here staring at my phone. So
Let's
did
see.
your daughter wake up?
No, she never did. I've had the baby monitor here the whole time. So
And what about the wife?
she's asleep. So
Are you
I
guys
haven't been
speaking?
getting. I don't. I'll let you know in the morning.
I mean, is she? What did she say when you got home? You work from home?
Yeah, I work from home, so I was in here.
So what time did she come home?
Oh, well, I mean, the two of them came home around 5. I mean, we had dinner.
Did
We
she
had
talk?
bath.
Did she talk to you during dinner?
Yeah.
So you and her getting along okay?
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That sounds like a no to me.
Well,
I read you. I read you loud and clear.
all right. So
All right.
at the very least, so where were we? So 6.5 out of 10 on Valley Lodge. David,
That is a
8.5.
perfect. That's a perfect review. 6.5 out of 10 is about how good that album is.
All right. Actually, I had emailed Dave Hill telling him I was going to do this before I did. So
Oh,
he may have
really?
been one of the viewers. So
Oh, good.
it's funny. I read Dave Hill's book. I loved his book. I'm in his camp, right? I listened to his podcast.
What's his book about?
It's a bunch of essays. So it's Tasteful Nudes is his book. It's I don't know 8 or 10 wacky essays. So it's pretty funny.
Is he a comedian?
He's a comedian. So he's a comedian, musician. He was on some kind of TV show that I've never seen. It was King of Miami,
Oh.
where it was like I think it was a fake reality show, where he was some kind of character who thought he was a big wheel in Miami, but was a complete yutz.
So if he's listening, he's heard me say that I thought his voice didn't sound
Authentic.
authentic. Yeah. Well, there you go.
think what you think.
rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, Dave Slow.
Dave Hill.
Dave Hill.
So there was a point in time where I listened to that album over and over.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I took all 3
6.5
albums.
out of 10.
I think it's solid. So
Yeah, 6.5.
I think 8.5 out of 10. I think is about right for how I feel about it. So
6.5. That's about right. 6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
6.5 out of 10. Dave Hill. Hey, Dave Hill, 6.5 out of 10. Need a bass player? All right.
But see, that's the other thing. Not like I have any connections, but I think I want to be your bass player agent.
Yes, please do. I'll give you a cut. I need to find a touring band.
When I see some of these assholes who are in some of these bands, there's no reason why it couldn't be you. So
Tell me about it. I know.
we need to get a plan to get you out there.
I've made a bass playing website, like a Michael Butler bass website.
We need to. All right. Well, I'll work on your marketing plan.
Okay, michaelbutlerbass.com.
All right. What's my 10%, 15%? What's my cut on here?
What's the standard? 12 to 15%.
Okay. I'm in.
I'll give you 50. I'll give you 20%. I don't give a shit. Okay.
I'll be your bass
All right.
hired gun super producer.
Yes, please do. All right.
I have no idea how you do this, but when I did that radio show, that, it was on the public radio satellite, and I didn't know one fucking idea. I had no clue how to do anything, and I ended up getting this show on the satellite every week. So things aren't that hard to figure out.
Yeah, I wish I had Shane still around. I don't know what the hell happened to him.
Was it a falling out, or did he just drift
No, he
away?
disappeared. I think he might be dead.
Huh.
He hasn't posted to his Facebook in like 4 years, and I think he might have disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
he just disappeared. I've emailed him, I've called him, nothing.
He's Australian, right?
I've looked. His Facebook is inactive. Because he would travel to China all the time. I'm thinking he got caught up into some kind of shady deals, and something might have happened to him.
He might be in prison in China.
Or maybe he just hates me, but I think something happened to him. I don't know. He wasn't married.
Huh. All right, so we'll figure out. That's our goal. Get Butler into some band.
I mean, I'm enjoying playing in the two bands I'm in, but I would like to be in
somewhere. Some of these bands need a hired gun that rocks out, that will jump off the amps.
That's the problem. They don't want anybody that's going to overshadow the singer. I'll stand in the back if I have to.
Shit, man. Sam Yappa's out of New York Dolls. You could do that gig.
There you go. Okay.
There's no reason why you couldn't do that.
Get on it. You get on that.
All right. New York Dolls at newyorkdolls.com. All right.
All right. All right.
All right. I've got my marching orders. Off we go.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you, Michael Butler.
All right. All right.
Good
bye.
night.